Girl, you better be sad about this one, because the streets are talking, and it's looking real messy. Word is Marjorie Harvey is about to expose Diddy for allegedly victimizing Lori Harvey and Baby. If that's true, it's darker than we ever imagined. We always knew there was something unsettling about Lori and Diddy's relationship. It was creepy from the start. But if what Marjorie's been hinting at is true, it might have been way worse behind the scenes. We already know Diddy has a track record when it comes to mistreating women. Yes, even Kim Porter, the woman he called the love of his life. But during recent investigations and lawsuits, even more disturbing details have come out. And now it looks like Lori may have been one of his victims. And Marjorie isn't staying quiet anymore. Let's rewind. It's been 7 years since Lori and Diddy dated, and honestly, it's still wild. Lori was just 22 years old. Diddy, pushing 50. That's a 30-year age gap. Let's be real, when Lori was born, Diddy already had a 5-year-old son. By the time they dated, Lori was actually younger than Diddy's son Justin. If you were there, you remember, it was a hot mess. And it gets worse. Turns out Diddy had known Lori for years before they ever got together. He and Steve Harvey moved in similar circles, not besties, but familiar. So yes, Diddy had been around Lori since she was a teenager, maybe even younger. That's what made it so unsettling. It wasn't like he just met her as a grown woman. He'd known her as a child. Creepy, right? Now add in the fact that their relationship started just months after Diddy's ex, Kim Porter, passed away. And Lori and Kim, they were close. Lori even posted a heartfelt tribute after Kim's death, saying, "Your energy was truly something special. An angel on earth and now in heaven." But just a few months later, Lori was dating Kim's ex. That didn't sit right with anyone. People started wondering, was Lori even into Diddy, or was something else going on behind the scenes? Then things got even messier. Shortly after going public with Diddy, Lori quietly deleted her tribute to Kim. But the internet never forgets. It made it seem like she was trying to erase that connection now that she was with Diddy, like she was distancing herself on purpose. And just when we thought Steve and Marjorie would shut that whole mess down, they did the opposite. They went on a vacation with Lori and Diddy and looked cozy doing it. Everyone was confused. It looked like they were supporting the relationship. But not long after that trip, Lori and Diddy broke up. And now, it's being said that Marjorie was the one who made that happen. Allegedly, Marjorie saw firsthand how Diddy treated Lori, and she was not having it. Sources claim he treated her just as badly as he treated Cassie and other exes. And remember, that relationship happened not long after Cassie escaped him. Some say Lori was just the next target, which is why people are saying that Tripp may have saved Lori. Marjorie reportedly stepped in and forced her daughter to leave that toxic situation. And here's where it gets even more wild, because Marjorie's no stranger to dark situations. She was once married to 2 known drug dealers and managed to walk away unscathed. So if she's this shook by what Diddy allegedly did to Lori, you know it had to be bad. Let's talk about Marjorie Harvey's past, because baby, it explains everything and makes the rumors about Diddy and Lori even more disturbing. See, Marjorie wasn't always the high society fashion queen we know today. Her first husband was a man named Jim Townsend, and he wasn't just dabbling in the streets. He was deep in the game. We're talking serious weight minus 40 kilos of nose candy, or around 88 pounds. That's not something you casually mention over mimosas. Marjorie and Jim had 1 child together, and she was actually pregnant with their second when things went down. In 1992, Jim got caught by the feds while trying to make a major drug move. The FBI and DEA were watching them both, and they weren't buying the Innocent Housewife Act. Even with a baby on the way, they suspected Marjorie was more involved than she let on. But Jim, he took the fall. Word is, he made a deal to protect Marjorie, and as a result, he got sentenced to life in prison. For a while, Marjorie stayed loyal, but that loyalty lasted about 5 years, and then divorce. While Jim was still behind bars, she filed the paperwork and kept it pushing. And who did she move on with next? Darnell Woods, allegedly Jim's own cousin. And yes, Darnell was also deep in the game. So after dodging the feds once, Marjorie jumped right back into another relationship with a known dealer. At that point, people were seriously starting to question her motives. It wasn't just bad luck anymore, it was a pattern. And just like before, Darnell eventually got caught, and the Alphabet Boys were back sniffing around Marjorie. And honestly, can you blame them? If you've been tied to two kingpins, both of whom end up in major legal trouble, folks are gonna raise an eyebrow. But Marjorie? She played it cool. She worked her charm. She dodged charges again. Twice connected, never convicted. Say what you want. That's impressive. And then came the plot twist of all plot twists. She marries Steve Harvey, a millionaire comedian who had been in love with her for nearly 20 years. Not only that, but she gets him to legally adopt all three of her children and give them his last name. Just like that, she wiped the slate clean, publicly erasing any ties to the criminal past that could have followed her kids forever. Whether you call it smart, strategic, or shady, Marjorie knew how to play the game. She rebranded her whole family and stepped into a new life, perfectly polished and unbothered. So now ask yourself, if someone like Marjorie, who's seen and survived the darkest sides of street life, was truly horrified by how Diddy treated Lori, you know it had to be something awful. And the rumors don't stop there. There's talk that Diddy allegedly got Lori pregnant and then forced her to get rid of it. This wouldn't be the first time Diddy's been accused of something like this either. So if Marjorie caught wind of that, it makes perfect sense why she would pull Lori out of that relationship fast. Honestly, it's giving survival, strategy, and maternal instinct all rolled into one. But what do y'all think? Was Marjorie just protecting her daughter? Or is there even more going on behind the scenes? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And when you're done, check out the next video because this rabbit hole goes way deeper.